Direct Show. And again, we're here at the 2024 OKIE Homesteading Expo. And I'm here with my brother Ryan, as you know. And we're here with some friends of ours, who is Dakota and Shayla. Yeah, with Old Pecan Homestead.
Yep.
Yeah. And uh, gotten to know a little bit about who they are over the last 9 months, I guess, because I think that's when we first kind of met each other and everything, with Eleanor the goat, right?
Yep. Eleanor
Yeah.
the goat. Go back and watch that video. She was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Love Eleanor.
Yeah, Eleanor, she don't talk much, but she's pretty cool. Uh, um, so, Dakota, today I want to talk just a little bit about what you were showing off today.
So we come out here to the expo last year as a vendor. We do a little bit of scale work in agricultural industry, and we were trying to push some livestock scales and stuff. And we thought, hey, we also have a YouTube channel in homesteading. Let's just come out next year and more or less represent our channel. That'd be a lot more fun than trying to come out here for work. So what we did was we've brought a welder out here because we do a little bit of welding and fabrication and custom builds and whatnot on our channel. And so we thought that'd be something cool that wasn't out here that I think a lot of people would enjoy, getting their hands on a welder, seeing if it's right for them and their farm and their homestead, because it can be very handy being able to fix a gate or build your own gates and stuff like that. So that's what we've had going on out here. We've had a very good turnout on people interested in getting their hands on a welder but didn't really know where to start.
Right, and whenever I would look over there, it wasn't uncommon to see those curtains all pulled back over there, or not pulled back, but closed. And you guys were over there and they're having it going. I said, well, man, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've got a lot of interested people. There's a lot of people out there that are curious about that, right?
Yep. And we've had a lot of kids come out too.
Oh, wow.
And we've had, I don't know, probably, I consider a kid anything under about 16.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've probably had, I don't know, 8, 9 of them, 8, 9 kids at least. And we had a couple more kids come back from yesterday, and we got them on a little project. I brought some 4x4 metal and built them a little cube. We got it all tacked together. I sent it home with them. I said, now you got to tell your mom to get you a welder so you can finish it.
That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. So
Yeah.
listen, so what's I know y'all guys have been super busy like everybody else the last 9 months. Had a lot of growth going on. So how's the health of how's things going on the channel? How's things going on the homestead?
God.
Hand that over to her. He's off work, and I know what's going.
Yeah, it's been a little bit rough lately. We've had a lot of trouble with the goats, and we have narrowed it down to coccidia. So we've had a lot of issues with that, but we're learning. We're trying to help others learn from our mistakes because we don't want anybody else to go through that. But we've made some drastic changes with that, and so other than that,
Yeah, so what she's saying, we've had a lot of trouble with our livestock. So anybody who's looking to get into a homestead or farming, you better be ready for some challenges.
Right.
Because we went, 3 years? We didn't have as many animals, but we went roughly 3 years. And we had some challenges here and there, but very small challenges as far as keeping animals healthy.
Right.
We're still at a pretty decent stocking rate per acre when it comes to goats.
Right.
We're not overcrowded, but we've learned a lot about their nutrition now that we have more head.
Right, I got you.
And we've always had plenty of mineral and stuff out for the goats, but we're learning that despite using a goat-specific mineral,
Right.
we're still deficient on minerals.
Okay.
So be prepared to learn a lot. You get into homesteading, it is a blast. It is fun. It's really fun when you have a garden and you actually get to harvest fruit or vegetables off of it. It's fun when you raise a butcher steer and you put 2 years of work into that butcher steer. It's a blast knowing that you've provided that for your family but just know it comes with a lot of work.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to ask you to keep that up because it drops off. Okay, that's fine. So say, because I know, y'all are, a lot of variety of what y'all have, and y'all have kind of been going through a lot of stuff. And I know that, like anything, like you said, there's challenges and that unknown that you didn't see coming. But now you had talked one time, I think it was one of our conversations, about, in fact, I think it was when you were trying to get your sub count up and stuff on one of the shows you did, about being able to get to where you're feeding others. Has that any development in that, or? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
So our primary goal with the homestead was originally to provide food for ourselves, but we want to grow beyond that. There is not nearly enough people who are farming the right way, in our opinion.
Right.
Not using GMOs, not using tons of fertilizer on their pastures. Regenerative farming. There's a lack of that, and there's a lack of local products. Even the product. Most products at the store, they come from out of state or out of country.
Right.
When you're talking about beef, there's no reason in the United States that we shouldn't be getting our beef within a few hundred miles.
Oh, absolutely.
From where you're at,
right, absolutely.
And there's a lack of that, and we would like to kind of fill that gap a little bit.
Okay.
Brazil, anyone?
Yeah.
Hey, did he say that out loud? Anyway, no, that's good though.
And just because it says a product of the USA does not mean it was grown in the USA.
That is 100% correct. Labeling is such a big deal within that stuff, and it's been a hot issue, I know. So, I mean, that's, yeah, I just, I remember you talking about wanting to do that and that drive and that kind of, when we did the spotlight that one time, that was kind of the reason, was because of that motivational factor of helping others and being a part of that. And so, I just wanted to kind of check in and see where y'all were at in that. I know y'all are on 10 acres, right?
Yep, just 10 acres. We do have so networking is kind of a big part of that when you have small acreage. So we've got friends that have about the same size of property as us down the road, and we're actually in a project with them right now. We've got some steers and bull calves down on them,
right?
And we're trading out for usage of their land.
Okay.
We're trading out a half a steer with them. So we're kind of networking with the local community to get more land. We could go out and sign a lease agreement, but we're not that big yet. So, it works to help somebody else out.
Right. I was going to say you're partnering. Both parties are winning on that deal. You're both coming out on it. And, I mean, because like I know I've only got 4 acres. So there's a limited amount of stuff I can do, especially when it comes to animals, that I can do. So, yeah, knowing people around me that have land and being able – I've got some people we know that they raise and do stuff. So I'm like, if I ever know where I want one, I'm going to go talk to them and say, hey, let's do something because of that same reason, space consideration. But so how are the boys? Are they I mean, I know they're out there back and forth. Are they loving the YouTube side or are they hating the YouTube side?
At first they kind of hated it a little bit. It was because they had to be quieter and not be wrestling in the background. But now they're really starting to get used to it, especially our youngest one. He's always jumping in. We caught him in his room the other day, with his phone. He's over there. So this is my room, and hey guys, make sure you like and subscribe.
Oh, that's great.
So it's
that's
pretty
awesome.
fun, but
well, that's cool. I mean, to be able to get the family in it,
Tell them about Levi's.
Oh, yeah, our oldest son, Levi, he's 10. He, through our 4-H program, he had to do an essay, and he ended up getting second place. So he got to pick a pig out of, I don't know how many kids, a dozen kids or so. And then the whole idea is to raise this pig however you want. It's not a show pig.
Economically raise. The point in the feeder pig project is to economically raise your feeder pig and learn, the financial side of raising a pig.
Right.
And you can do whatever you want with it as far as who gets to eat it. But at the end of it, it's a meat project. They butcher the pigs. They grade the carcass of the pig. And,
so Porky's going to end up on a plate somewhere is what you're saying.
so he has 2 pigs. He got second pick overall and then second to last because he placed second. And his first pig is really good looking. His second pig is, there's some differences. Struggled a little bit compared to his second overall pick. But overall, both of his pigs are doing very well. He's already sold both pigs.
So I guess the primary objective is to teach him the entire process.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about installing the responsibility of raising those animals, caring for them. Ultimately, we are raising these animals for meat, but when you raise them yourself, you love those animals. There is a form of attachment to them,
Right.
and it just really installs a sense of responsibility. Like you're responsible for the quality of life of that animal,
Right.
And I think that's a big part of knowing where your food comes from. Without all these animals, I mean, you ain't eating.
Right.
And he's learning the financial side of it too,
Right.
and he's supposed to be keeping a record, which is part of the deal.
Right, because there is a business side to doing this
So
stuff.
he's got to know his profit margins, and that's
Right.
really good for
That's
him
real
to
world
learn.
experience, though. I mean, that's learning some stuff. And, I think that's the importance of organizations like 4-H, FFA, and stuff to teach that side of things and to show and let them get their hands on it and do it. And the fact that y'all are able to kind of, in a sense, help with that because you've got the place to do it and you're able to be there along for the journey. But, I mean, that'll last him a lifetime. That's a journey that won't quit. So, I mean, that is awesome stuff. So, we've been hearing about a Sasquatch that lives on your
I knew that
place.
was coming.
You know it's coming.
I knew it.
Anyway, that was a great video. I mean, that was just hilarious. That end of that little part of it, and it's kind of become y'all's own little private thing going on up there. But just to show you can have fun while you're doing all this stuff too, and it's as we work at it.
Yeah. So I mean, the Sasquatch is real.
It is.
Okay, so you heard it right here for the first time on the Farm2Table Direct Show. Sasquatch is real, and they know him.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do.
So there you go. More than one witness, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it must be true. So, talking about networking, we're here at the expo, and that's part of what this is all about. But I want to bring the Sasquatch in on the whole network idea, and that is you guys know him, and you guys got an endorsement, and I got a little jealous. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so
we're gonna have to put in a good word.
I'm thinking you and the Sasquatch ought to get some kind of a little network going to where y'all can charge for Sasquatch endorsements. Don't you think?
Yeah, got to feed the Sasquatch, right?
Hey, Sasquatch got to eat.
Yep.
No, listen. That's part of the fun that you get to have when that they don't. That it makes it a little more enjoyable to get out there and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier with some others about the time investment of editing, of getting things out there, the work that goes behind the scenes of all this that makes it a little bit more fun when you get to have that kind of stuff. So, and listen, y'all have had a pretty good growth in the last 9 months from where y'all were when we were here last. So, how y'all doing out there on that? I mean,
a lot of networking, like you said, stronger together.
Yep.
That's I think that's the most important thing. I noticed, a lot of I've been working more on our Facebook side of things. I don't have a lot of time to watch everybody's videos. I do listen to them, but Dakota's more on the YouTube side. But just connecting with others, getting to know people on a personal level, the more they know you, the more they're going to put your name out there. Right. And so it just spreads further that way. And so just...
So I would say one thing that really helps. Everybody's got some channels that they really like to watch. Get in their comment section, give them a comment, a like. Find somebody else's comment, like it, comment. Those things will really boost them in the algorithm.
The likes.
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of those, but
yeah. So
well, we've kind of started getting hot on that one. That's our new favorite thing. Is doing the lives.
Yeah. The lives are dangerous because I say things that YouTube doesn't like. But.
Well, I mean, there's that, and then somehow you I said it, and they're going to just have to deal with it. It's not like they can say, "Oh, we're not going to let you know."
Yeah.
I guess later
Yeah.
they can watch it and determine whether they want you to be
we
out
did,
there.
We did
but-
get one channel strike for a live, probably a week after we did the live. So,
Well, I'll be honest with you. You know,
well, you could. So I notice a lot of people will delete some of their lives. Like they'll do a live and then they just don't make it public, after the fact. So if you get off in the weeds and things are said, and you know that you're going to get a channel strike, you can always just. Yeah, too bad they can't let you go back and edit a couple things on your live.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the thing you got to. I always say with other stuff I do that's public stuff. It's like, listen, I'm real careful who I hand the microphone to because you don't know what's coming out the other side.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead, bro.
Well, I'd say we're not too careful.
Yeah.
So,
So speaking of that, go watch their video on alpha gal syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very good video.
yeah, that's kind of amazing. When you dig down into some of the things that are going on and some of the possible origins for that, makes things really highly suspect. And we're not going to dig way deep off into that today, but well,
Yeah, just
watch the video,
Go over there and watch it.
do your own research. That's
Yeah.
probably the best way, and probably
Yeah,
we're talking to
don't
people out there
rely
that
on-
already
Don't rely
know.
on people like us to tell you everything. All we can do because of the constraints is point you in directions. It is very healthy to question things and get in
Right.
there for yourself.
Well, that's science. That's science is questioning.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We had the Alpha Gal video and everything, and I had just become aware that some poor souls out there are allergic to red meat, and it's just a terrible thing. We left here last year and was headed out on that Saturday evening and stopped at a meat place, barbecue meat place, a couple of towns over. Went in, needed dinner. Was talking to the person who was serving me, and they had it. They're working in a place that serves that. They love it, but they had just gotten diagnosed with it and couldn't. And it was like they were early enough in their diagnosis. They thought they'd be able to overcome it, get past it. But it was like, man, this is real world. I just met somebody who has this issue, and so it's a very real thing. But like I said, my heart breaks for them because I love meat too much to have something like that happen. But just so it's out there. But that episode was real eye opening on where some of the stuff goes with that.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a few eye-opening episodes that are out there, but we're not telling Dakota or Shayla anything that they don't know. But there's a lot of stuff in the underlying things that I want to say. The things we talk about is kind of up here. The things that are really going on is way down here. And
Well, I know of one thing I want to mention in relation to the alpha gal.
be careful now.
I'm going to be careful. So, I think in that video you guys mentioned bovine extract.
Yeah.
So, bovine extract is something the pharmaceutical industry will harvest from fetal cattle.
Okay.
So, in the United States right now, cattle number prices are way up. And part of that problem, well, it's not a problem if you have the cows to sell, but it's a problem if you're trying to get into farming because they're so expensive. But part of that is due to cattle inventory being low. And that is because some of these big packing plants have a quota on heavy bred cows that they need to buy to harvest the bovine extract from the fetal cattle. So it drives the inventory of mama cows down. Therefore, the scarcity of cattle goes up, the price goes up. So, these things are dots that can be connected.
They're not unconnected in any way. It's a cyclic problem.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we're trying to do, I mean, you guys may know that we had switched from, the why you really need to do this. Not that we don't talk about the why anymore, but we thought maybe we need to start, focusing on the solution to a lot of these problems. And over the time, we began to realize that the homesteading community is actually the solution to what we see going on out there in the world, and that is not complete independence, but at least we're not beholden to the food supply chain like we were before. We have options, and that's what we're all about. And where some people see a problem, we actually see that there are some opportunities here. Okay, and what I mean by that is that there are opportunities that is arising because people are waking up and seeing what's going on out there and said, hey, you know what, I don't exactly trust what I see, and so we need to maybe try to find a different solution. And so, we began to see the homesteading community as, this exemplifies a solution, but not only a solution, but a good cross section of what America is, okay? What America was supposed to be. And I'm a constitutional guy, all right? And I believe that the founding fathers had a good idea and they implemented it. And this experiment is still going on today. And it's up to us in this generation or these generations to stand up and do something about it. And what I mean by that is that we need to take a kind of action to where we arrest some of that control back into the hands of the average individual and not so much up into the larger power players who have seats on the board overseas, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. 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 So, I mean, we need to take back control of our food supply chain. You look at like Amos Miller up in Pennsylvania.
Right, that's a big one.
That's a pivotal battle right now. But, you can help people like that. He's a little bit of a big producer, but he's a local producer. He's a huge local producer for the local community where he's at. But you could kind of take some of that on with a little bit of healthy defiance,
Right.
when it comes to, all these regulations involved in producing milk and stuff, on your farm. Hey, I ain't telling you what to do, but a little bit of defiance goes a long way. If enough people are defiant on some of those things, it goes a long ways.
That's I was going to say, that's something, that me and Keith have talked about is that, you look around out here, with the like-minded individuals that are predominantly from Oklahoma, right? There's a lot of states, a lot of people represented, predominantly, though, this area. And you think about local elections, state elections, you think about issues that affect things at that level. Well, on a national scale, this may not be a huge block of people, but inside of a state, it's a massive block of people that actually have a lot more control on the state and local levels at their city council or at their state elections than they think they do. And yeah, that it does matter what's happening. And like you said, a little bit of peaceful resistance, you might say,
right.
To where you choose to buy your products, who you choose to do business with, who you don't do business with.
If somebody a few miles down the road selling a gallon of, selling raw milk, go spend $6 or $7 on that gallon of milk every now and then. I know if you're going through 4 gallons of milk a day and you have a bunch of kids, it may not be possible to buy milk from them every time.
Well, go buy the goat then. But
yeah, go get your goat. Go get your goat.
Is that where that statement came from? Get your goat?
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, but your point is valid. I mean, and Facebook Marketplace and these private groups have become a huge secondary economy for a lot of that stuff. I know I'm part of a group where I live that there's people on there who sell that kind of stuff all the time.
Help people who specialize in some of these things like dairy or produce, help them be successful.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, there's shady things going on with the food supply.
Oh, yeah.
And vegetables are included in that.
Right.
If somebody is a good vegetable farmer, reward them. Shop at their vegetable stand. Stop in there, get some squash from them, get some carrots from them. Reward them so that they're encouraged to keep producing, because really farm to table is a dying trade.
Absolutely.
And we need more people encouraged to actually, who are good at things, and if you're looking to get into a homestead, you don't have to be good at everything. If you have like-minded people, your neighbor might be good at dairy, you might be good at beef, and somebody might be really good at chickens, and so
right.
on and so forth. So use everybody's niches to each other's benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a little bit about the networking since you mentioned that. A lot of you out there may be in a situation to where in your local community, you're not involved that much. And maybe you're saying, you know what, I can't go out and plant a huge garden, or I don't have the land to raise meat birds or cattle or whatever it is that you might want to raise. But one of the things you can do is you can get involved with people who do produce food. You can be a player in that realm. You can become active in your community that way. And let me tell you this: anytime that I've invited somebody over to eat at my dinner table, we become friends. Okay, that's the way it works. You, if you want to grow this network of people that's surrounding you, then do that. Invite somebody over to eat. Go be a part of something that they're a part of. Volunteer in the community whenever it comes to the homesteading community, especially. But the reason is the only thing that it's not the only thing we need, that we just need to have these skills to to butcher a cow or to grow something. Yes, those things are very important, but it's also important to have that backbone of a network, because when things hit the fan, and sometimes they do, those networks are going to remember you. If you're a nobody out there who's never, and I'm not saying that you are a nobody, you are somebody, but if nobody knows who you are, then when something like that happens, where are you at?
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it's a matter of not if, but when something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it may not happen. You may get lucky and you may not experience anything like that in your life, but somebody in your generation, your next generation or the next, is likely going to, experience those things. We're kind of isolated in the United States in that regard. You look all around the world, and people in many, 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 many of the countries around I would say the majority of the countries around the world end up going through a things have hit the fan situation. And do you want to be prepared for that situation? Do you want to have good people around you? Absolutely.
Oh, well, of course, and I've been, through previous career, I've been in several what you'd call upcoming or third world or second world country, where survival is the day. That's the word of the day. They're just trying to get through each day. It's about putting food or water. There was a story, 10 miles to go get water. That was one of the family members had to make that journey every day to go get water. And it's like that. They're just eking out survival.
Yeah. So
we're blessed.
So if something were to happen right now, the United States is not prepared for anything like that. Most people would be in survival mode. Whereas just, 80, 100 years ago, we were thriving in what today we would be trying to survive in.
Right.
So
well,
it's possible to thrive.
To what was coined the Great Depression. Which, like our grandparents, our parents were born on the back end of, but I mean, our grandparents lived through that. And if that happened today in our society today, it would pale in comparison to what happened. I mean, that would pale comparison, because people back then were just tough. They knew how to survive.
They were resourceful.
Right, and they knew everybody, and they had a community, and they had a thing. And that's why it's got a little loud here. They're bringing some of the antique tractors through. Got an old John Deere out there, it looks like, rolling through. Yeah, anyway, look at that. Oh, is that a Poppin' Johnny? I don't know, that may be. But anyway, it's an old tractor there. He's moving it on out. He's kind of loud, but I think we can maybe be heard. Oh, there you go. He found the high gear. He's moving. But, they were able to survive stuff that, honestly, I don't know that most of America could survive today. But people like the expo here, they're putting on homesteaders that are sharing that knowledge. We just talked to some people that have a century farm, and they have found old diaries from the 1800s, and they're taking a lot of what they learned, those they wrote in those journals, to learn, and I mean, it's like, wow, to keep that heritage alive. Well, what we now is this homesteading movement was day-to-day living.
Yeah.
75 years ago,
Yep, and we let a lot of stuff get in the way of our homesteading. Everybody out there's got good excuses, but not that long ago there wasn't a such thing as excuses, because if you had excuses, you weren't thriving.
Right. Well, I grew up, we heard that old adage our whole life, you don't work, you don't eat. And I mean, and there's some truth to that. And I mean, having recently got into property and trying to get it off the ground and get things in there, it's like, yeah, I don't have enough hours. I joke all the time, I ain't got time to do.
Yeah.
But it is that much work, but man, it's rewarding, and when it's yours and you're putting that labor of love into it. And so, I think we probably need to get wrapped up on this one, guys. Appreciate, again, sitting down, a little more sit down time this time.
Hang on just a second.
Yep.
Just before we sign out, we're doing the hashtag Stronger Together this year, and we want, because if enough of the people that have a little influence gets out there and they start pushing it, then the idea gets into the population, and so we know that we're the solution to the things that we see going on in this world. We're shortening the supply chain. Ditch it, right? Ditch the supply chain.
I did. I had the bolt cutters, but I think they're in the pickup. So go ahead.
So anyway, I just really want to put that out there, and I know that we're kind of like-minded people, and so if you guys can push that hashtag out there about Stronger Together. Then we sure would appreciate it. And it's for a great cause. How about the salvation of the greatest country that ever existed on planet Earth for now?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're trying to do our best to do our part to push those things out there. So I'll let you go ahead and wrap that up. And before we do, though, I want you guys to tell everybody where they can find y'all's channel.
You can find us at Pecan Homestead .com. That's our website. We don't have a lot on there right now, but we've got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What else we got? Facebook. Yeah, a little bit of everything. And I just want to say, if you are thinking about homesteading at all, even if you live in an apartment, you can grow oranges on your windowsill. So, I mean, they have little mini orange plants. They're this tall. So get started. Learn now, because there is a lot to learn. And the more people we have doing it, the more we can teach each other. And yeah, there's a lot. Get started now, because you won't regret it. So
Don't wait till you get on a property. Just get started.
yeah, do it now.
Yeah, I was container gardening in my backyard for the last 2 seasons in pots because I was in town, and that's all the room I had.
Yeah.
So I mean, was it a total success? No, I had a lot of failure in that thing. But I got to have my own tomato. Yeah. I got to have my own cucumber.
We
I got
can
to
do
have
sourdough now.
I mean,
there's
and learning from a lot of people that know other stuff, and now taking that and saying, okay, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do this now. And so, yeah, it is, you got to take that first step.
Yeah.
Start little, but take that first step.
That's my favorite part about the community, is getting to know people and everybody helping each other.
Oh, yeah. And that's a big part of it. Well, listen, guys, y'all have heard us over the last 9 months and how we sign every show off with prepare for the unexpected and keep it local. So that's what we're going to do right now.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. All right, everybody, this is Ryan with the Farm2Table Direct Show. We've been sitting down with Old Pecan Homestead, my brother Keith, Dakota, Shayla, and a little bit of talk about the squatch. And their boys saying, come on. But anyway, we're going to sign this off right now. And hey, listen, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you don't follow Old Pecan Homestead, go over there, follow them on Facebook, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Get them out there, get in the comments section, make it happen for them. And listen, as we say here on the Farm2Table Direct Show at the end of each and every episode, prepare for the unexpected